All right, welcome everyone. It is super exciting. So I am here this morning with Ravi Tangri for our weekly show, Getting Back to Business.
Hello, Natalie.
How are you?
Good. It feels like it was only just yesterday when we spoke.
Oh, actually, probably because it was.
On another show.
Exactly. So last week on Getting Back to Business, we went over a whole bunch of different skills that you have and how to tap into what you're already good at in order to continue to continue to go back to business and then build what is going to be your future business, because life as we know it probably will not be the same anymore, and we have to readapt, we have to pivot, we have to, all these words that we hear now everywhere that are becoming overuse almost. I think that if I hear another person say pivot, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, I am so tired of that word. Oh my God.
It is what it is. Because that's exactly what we're doing.
It is.
And we're doing it fast. It's fast, and at the same time, some of us are stuck and are not doing it because we might be stuck in maybe some limiting belief that we have, that we're not able to start learning something new, or that technology is hard, or we're bad with technology. So there's lots of things. So today we're going to be talking about two things. So the mindset of getting back into business, and we're going to talk about how you can surround yourself with other people and other groups maybe that could support you while you're getting back to business.
Absolutely. And I think, this is something that even in the best of times, a lot of people have difficulty asking for help. Sometimes I don't know if it's sometimes it's you may be afraid of what people are going to think of you. Are you going to be seen as someone who's not as good? Or in times like this, is the perception that, oh my God, have I failed because I can't figure it out by myself? And none of that is true. And yet it can hold you back from getting the help that you really want, that you really need to be able to move forward.
Absolutely. Because when you are in position of asking for help, it implies that you're not able to do it by yourself, which is true. And it's totally fine. Why would we have a problem asking for help? It's like going to the dentist. Like, somebody has a skill that you don't have. You can't start filling your cavities yourself. So you're going to ask for help, and you're going to ask for the dentist to do that because they're good at it. And there's nobody ever said, oh, you don't do your own fillings? You go to the dentist, you ask for help? Oh, well, no, people don't say that, right?
Well, you don't do your own teeth?
I don't. Yeah, because we don't feel bad asking for help for skills we just don't have. It is the very same thing here, right?
Totally. And the thing is, let's be honest, no one has lived through times like these before. Nobody knows the how to get through. This is not, this is not the time to think I should know it all. Nobody knows how. Like in our business, in the speaking business, for example, I know a fair bit and I use technology a fair bit, but I still had a huge learning curve, and I was reaching out to people. But also when this hit, I got 911 calls from I don't know how many speakers who were just used to going and standing on the stage and doing a keynote that hadn't done a lot, going, how the heck do I do this? I don't, what technology do I need, so on and so forth, because it's a totally new landscape.
Yeah, absolutely. I find that I even had the surprise, actually, on one of the group. It was a CAPS event held on a specific technology topic, or a group, or a webinar. And I saw you there, and I'm like, what's Ravi doing there? Like, what is he gonna learn? And I'm sure that you learned something on that technology webinar, because even if you're good at it, there's always a tip or a box that somebody
you always learn,
and that you're like, oh my gosh, because you're you're the king of technology. We all know that. Look at him with all his fancy stuff, right? And what I'm saying here is it's okay to ask for help. And even if Ravi is asking for help with technology and shows up on these webinars to learn, that means that we can all learn something, right? And it's perfectly fine. And let's talk about technology quickly. You see how Ravi is fully equipped. You don't need to be fully equipped. Like the first limiting belief that you want to get rid of is you don't need to have all the fancy equipment. You don't need your studio or your office to become a recording studio with a producer and then a lady that goes clubs, try number one. And then you don't need a sound guy, and you don't need something hanging from your ceiling to correct the image, and then 2 different lights on your green screen and another one. You can go online right now, today, with what you have. So let's just get rid of that limiting belief, because what's happening is that we believe that because we are not confident in ourselves, it's normal because we're not good at it yet.
Yeah.
It's unusual. I used to present on stage, or you did not used to be on Zoom calls, and probably that right now you've been to more than one Zoom call, and now you get it, and now you know where to click to go from speaker view to gallery view. You've done a few of these, and now you're getting more comfortable. So you can continue to become more comfortable into this whole idea of doing business online. But at the beginning, we're stressing out and we don't trust ourselves. And if you have a belief that you're not good enough for this, that you'll never figure it out, it's not by buying the most expensive camera that's part of the environment and the stuff that you will fix the problem that's happening in between your ears. You can't fix with a behavior of learning a skill and going on a webinar and doing some courses. Even if you were doing 10 webinars a day on how to do this, if you don't change the belief that you're never going to be able to do this, then it's never going to change. So the key here is really to work on your own limiting belief, because if you tap into the power of your brain will assist you. Because if you have a limiting belief that you're bad with tech, as soon as you get in front of a screen, your brain will want to make you right. So your personal assistant is writing down bad with technology. Perfect. I need to be bad with technology. I got this. So whenever you get in front of the screen, your personal assistant is not going to make you see the box that you're supposed to click. That's right in front of your eyes. And you're like, no, I can't see it. I can't see it. Because your personal assistant is like, phew, I distracted her, so she was not able to see it. And now I'm right. That's perfect. I did my job. Yes, so she didn't click, and now she's still bad with technology. Perfect, I got my job done. So we really have to be careful with how we think about our own skills, about our own value, if we're able to do this or not. And that will definitely, that is the first step into getting help. First, you need to help your own mind. You need to help yourself.
Yeah, and also there's a big thing that people, I found through my coaching work, even people that have established in business doing, everyone looks at, oh my God, they're amazing, are often concerned about what others are going to think of them, how others perceive them. And they're allowing that to shift their behavior. And in this time, it's added to beliefs that you may have, such as that if you ask for help, that's a sign of weakness. Some people have that belief. Is it true? I don't believe so. I think it's, again, as Nathalie said, with your personal assistant, if you believe that and you don't want to be weak, then you're not going to let yourself ask for help. You're not going to reach out into that. So the thing here to me is to start to find out what's holding you back from asking. Why is it that you might be reluctant, and to really to explore that, because my God, the only way you can grow, and we have to grow in this crazy new environment, the only way you can grow is learning, and you learn through others.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to reach out. You need to reach out. So you want to look at who around you knows a little bit more. You don't need to reach out for Barack Obama, which was at the top of the world at one point. You need to reach out for a friend that might know one or two things more than you do. And I've done that so many times during the confinement. I was saying, okay, I have a webinar tomorrow. Can we just get together? I'll just 2 or 3 of us, and then I'll test doing a poll with you, and then I'll test bringing you into a breakout room, and then I'll test clicking here, clicking there, just so that you tell me, can you see my slide properly? Like, is the word getting back to business upside down, or like, is it reversed, or like, is it good? So then you do your testing with people that are around you, and they'll teach you a few things, you'll teach them a few things. And if you don't know anybody, then look for groups online. Everybody right now is offering so many different resources. So there's so many free content out there. I did put a lot of them. So I have a few webinars. One is Think Yourself a Tech Pro. If you go on my YouTube channel, you'll find it. One is Think Yourself a Business Pro, Transform Social Media Fans into Paying Clients. Those are all free webinars that I did. I was just doing one on Tuesday, was Transform Your New Normal and Find Confidence. So how to get your business online with Mo Hagan. So this also is available on, you'll see it on my YouTube channel. So there's lots of resources out there that you can get for free. And I really recommend that you start looking into getting comfortable with it, because you need to start driving the car.
Right.
Like, and that's the mistake that a lot of people do, is they believe that in order to start driving, they need a Maserati. You know, well, my niece is.
It'd be nice.
That'd be nice. But it would be like my niece telling me, like, she's 19, and she would say, well, I need a brand new car. I need you to buy me a Porsche or a Maserati in order to start driving. You don't need that. You don't need all the fancy equipment. You can just start with what you have right now.
I just cringed at the thought of learning to drive a stick on a Porsche or a Maserati. It's like, oh my God, I would just scream. The poor car.
Oh, poor car. Well, you should see my first car. I did have to drive. My first car was a Ford Fairmont, 1979. It was a huge car, and I needed to parallel park with it. And like a few months after I got it, there was already a whole bunch of different unusual curves in the doors. Don't know why. The side of the tires were all scratched, and it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I learned, right? Right.
So as Nathalie says, there's a lot of resources out there, and let me share with you that there's a brand new high-tech tool that's out that's going to give you a backstage pass to them. It's called Google. So you just go to Google, type in what you want to learn, you'll get all sorts. So that's the free resources. But I think it's important too to be able to reach out for help to people. Like I said, a lot of speakers came to me about how the heck do I do this? They didn't, I got all these messages, and I'd have Zoom calls with them to take them through some of the basics. But I was also reaching out to people going, okay, how do I make this happen? Because I'm setting up my studio to live stream and so on. So I was taking my stuff to another level. And so I need you cut your learning curve short. And I think, Nathalie, you and I have learned to do that because our professional association, CAPS, the Professional Speakers Association, is designed. It's all about mentoring each other. And we've learned to ask for help. And everybody in CAPS or in NSA in the States or any of the other Global Speakers Federation associations are in that same philosophy. And they always say yes.
So find what is the association in your case. If you're a fitness professional, are you a member of CanFit Pro? CanFit Pro has been offering since day one, since March 13. On March 14, there was already emails coming from the Cancer Pro Association for all fitness professionals to help you with a series of webinars and courses. And now they have a full online series for the fall. What is, if you're a chartered accountant, are you a member of your chartered accountant association? If you're professional organizers, if you are a sports fan, or is there anything that can help? Is there any association? And that's the best investment that you will make, because having support. I'm a member of a sales association, of a coach association. By far, the association that has helped me the most in the past 3 years is CAPS, the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers, because of the nature of this type of association. Some associations that you find are designed to network and to sell our services to each other. These might not be the ideal associations that you want to belong right now, because we don't want to sell our services to each other. We want to freely exchange and making sure that we are helping each other out.
Yes.
So, exactly. So find what's out there for you in your area of expertise, and become a member, renew your membership. That's the main expense that you might have right now. Like we don't go out, we don't do anything, so there's not that many expenses we'll have, and then you'll have access to a whole bunch of free resources from that association.
Right. And the other thing too, though, I'd like to spend some time on is, so there's the free resources you Google, there's the professional associations where you can start connecting, but also to, I think it's important to be able to reach out and ask. And if you are hesitant to do that, if you're afraid to do that, I mean, it's what Nathalie talked about and up front about limiting beliefs. And that's something I think, Nathalie, you and I do a lot of work with our clients about how to overcome them, and to get past those things that hold us back. So there is resources there that can support you, but something I thought I'd share, if I could, that can work in some cases to give you something that's an immediate hit, is it's a process called The Work by Byron Katie. And what it's about is it is about limiting beliefs, and it can be self-directed. And so in some cases you can actually work through this yourself. And the thing I like about it is it's a simple process. And for example, if you are looking at, let's say, once you've thought about it, you're worried about what people, you figure out, everyone's different, but let's say you figure out you're worried about what people think of you, that you're gonna think that you're a failure. Okay. They'll think. So what you do is you take that belief and you put it through these 4 questions. Can we share that up there, Nathalie? I've put a share screen in there. Can we?
I don't know if you can share your screen, because we are in my.
Okay, I did put the share screen there. I think you just have to add it in. It will have popped up in the bottom. There it is. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, these 4 questions that you ask, let's say the belief is, everyone will think I'm a failure if I ask. First question is it true? And you might go, well, maybe, I'm not sure. And then you say, can you absolutely know that it's true? No. Okay, I guess I don't know absolutely that it's true. Then you think about, how do you react? What happens when you believe that thought? How do you respond? You may go, oh, well, I get tight, I get tense, I get stressed, and my throat clutches, and I can't say anything.
So what's the third question?
The how do you react? What happens when you believe that thought, right?
Oh, okay.
And that's so that what are the, and then the 4th question is, who or what would you be without that thought? So if you could not think that thought at all, who or what would you be? How would you respond? And it's like, oh, and what happens for me a lot of times when I'm working with limiting beliefs is, whereas I might have felt heavy and scrunched down with the limiting belief, I open up with that and go, oh, well, I could do this and I could do this. And a lot of possibilities open. And what you notice there is by doing that, you start to notice how you feel differently just by moving the thought in or out. And that shows you the leverage of changing your thoughts. I mean, the work is a resource that you can access, see if it works for you. You may need some other coaching support, but this at thework.com, you can find lots of resources that Byron Katie has.
That's really cool. So let's do an example. So let's start with, is it true? So give me an example of something, or I'll give you one. So let's say I say, I'm really bad with technology.
Okay, so Nathalie, is it true? Is it real? Is it true?
Well, yeah, it's awful. Like I can't click anywhere, and it's so bad, and I'm
okay. Awful. So the second question, can you absolutely know that that's true?
Well, I kind of have an iPhone, and when they do the updates, I kind of have to do the update, and I kind of figure it out. So
right.
I had a phone before with a keyboard, and now I'm okay with not having a keyboard. So I guess I learned that. So maybe it's not absolutely true. There are sometimes.
And I'll bet you know dozens of apps on there, how to get around them.
Yeah, I've learned a few apps. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so maybe, yeah, that's right.
So when you had that thought, how do you react? What happens when you believe that old thought?
Well, then I get really frustrated, and then I want to smash my computer, and I want to give up, and I'm just going to turn it all off, and then never mind, I'll go look in the yellow pages and try to find something, or read stuff, right?
And you can feel all of that, right? Now, let's say you can't even think about it. Who would you be without that? If you could not go to that thought, who or what would you be if you couldn't even think that thought?
I could not believe that I'm not good with technology.
If you couldn't even think that thought, if that couldn't enter your mind, if it just...
Okay. So, yeah, so then I guess I would just figure it out. That's right. That's right.
And what have you done in the past?
That's right. In the past, I have been able to put some programs online, and yeah, I think I really like this sequence of our question. It's really cool.
So now, if you think about the two thoughts, I'm not any good with technology, and I can figure it out. Which really is more true?
I can figure it out.
Right?
Yeah.
And so what it does is it lets you shift some of those limiting beliefs.
That's right. That's right. That's so cool. So cool. There's also another tool that could be interesting for you to use when you have one of these nasty thoughts. So the first step is to put it in the past, is to talk about it in the past. And let's use that same example. So the first one is to say, I used to. Okay, so then you would just say your negative statement that you just heard in your head, your limiting belief, I am bad with technology. You would say, I used to be bad with technology. So then your unconscious mind would be listening to this, and then the personal assistant goes, like, why are we talking about this in the past? Are we done with this? Like, what? Yeah, it's true. We used to be bad with technology, because affirmations don't really work unless you believe them.
True.
So if I just say, oh, I am good with technology, not gonna work, because my brain goes, no, we're not. Just like when I work with my clients with Think Yourself Thin program that are highly overweight, they can't just stand tall and say, I am thin. Or with my Think Yourself Wealthy program, when I help people that are in deep financial struggles, it's not going to work to make them stand tall and say, I am rich. It works. Like, affirmations don't work like that. So if you say, I used to be bad with money, or I used to be overweight, or I used to be bad with technology, then the brain goes, yeah, that's right. I'm going to put that on my list. But wait a minute, like, why are we talking about this in the past? Are we done with this? And then immediately you want to go to the second part, and it's a progressive statement. So a progressive statement starts with, I am willing to learn. So, or I am in the process of, okay? So then you would say, I am willing to learn how to figure out technology, right? I am willing to learn how to create a good lifestyle for myself so that I can lose weight. I am, or you could use, I am in the process of. So I am in the process of, then you say I'm in the process of putting my business online. So I used to be bad with technology. So you start with the I used to. I used to be bad with technology. Now I'm willing to learn how to figure this out. And I'm in the process of transferring my business online. Yep. So this is all true. And that's what's on your personal assistant's clipboard now that your personal assistant's going to be following.
I love that. I love the simplicity of that as well. So there you've got two approaches. If you are feeling held back from asking for help, these are two simple approaches that can work in many cases that you can lead yourself through and work with that. Because I think that's a huge thing that if we can move through that, it's massive in terms of how much we can allow in terms of help and in terms of growth.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go through a few limiting beliefs that we might have. Things that are one of the biggest taboo topic, and one of the things that people are running away from most of the time is the S word, sales, selling, because selling is bad, right?
Yeah. So I'll throw out, I hate making cold calls, Natalie. So okay. What would I say?
Okay. So you hate making cold calls. So let's start with the first technique. So is it true?
Yeah, I hate it.
You hate it. Now, can you absolutely know that it's true? Like you've never, ever made a cold call? You've never called a client that you liked. You hated it the whole time.
Well, no, there are a couple where it's like, wow, there's a neat little connection made. So yeah, okay.
So you made a connection, and so you've never sold anything? You've never, like, selling is absolutely.
Yeah, I have.
You have? So you sold contracts before, talking to people, right? Okay. Yeah. So when you do believe that you hate it, how does that make you feel? How do you react?
I just pull back. I don't want to even go near the phone. I don't want to go near my email. I just,
Okay. So then you procrastinate, you go to your email, and you just don't do it. You don't do your follow-up because you hate it.
I do everything else that to keep me away from it, because then I don't have any time left.
Okay. And then what happens is it makes you feel a certain way. And how does that make you feel? Does that make you feel super confident to know that you hate it?
It makes me feel like I suck.
And is this a good way to show up when you are selling your services, to feel like you suck?
No, because I'm not confident even when I do, let's say.
Okay. So what if you would not have access to this thought, that you were not able ever to think that you hate selling, that you hate selling your services, that you feel pushy when you sell your services? If you were not able to think that at all, who would you be? What would happen?
Well, then I could sort of, then I sort of reconnect with all the stuff that I bring to people. I can feel the excitement about all the things that I do, that I can do for others.
That's right. Because really what we're doing is you're bringing excitement. You're bringing things to your clients. You have a solution.
Yeah.
And how does that make you feel now when you don't have this thought?
Yeah, that's, as well, a lot more confident.
A lot more confident. So that's the key here, is to figure out how your life would be if you didn't have this thought. So let's try the second technique now. Okay. So I'm going to ask you, what would be a limiting belief that you would have about sales We could keep the same example that you hate selling, or
I suck at cold calls.
Pushy, or what would it be?
I suck at cold calls is what I said, I think, right?
Okay, you suck at cold call. Perfect. So let's try our second technique. So what would you say?
I used to suck at cold calls.
How does that feel when you say that?
Well, it's true. I mean, it's true.
And how does that feel to say it in the past?
It's a little weird. You disconnect from it.
It's weird because it's not over. You still hate it, but you know, like, it's weird.
But it's kind of true. I used to. I still do, but I used to too.
So it's kind of true. So immediately, let's do a progressive statement. This step number 2. So now, what are you willing to learn?
I'm willing to learn how to connect with clients to help them solve their problems.
Okay, so let's do that again. I used to
suck at cold calls.
And now?
I'm willing to learn how to connect with clients to help them solve their problems.
That's right. And you could also use I'm in the process of.
I'm in the process of helping my clients move forward.
That's right. So could you potentially even be in the process of starting to like it?
Yeah.
Do you like talking to your clients?
Yes.
Do you like to have the piece of puzzle that's missing? And you have it.
Yes.
Right? Do you have the solution?
Yeah.
So because of this old limiting belief that you used to have, you were depriving them from the solution. You have it, you have the key to their problems, and you're just not doing it just because you have this limiting belief that's holding you from offering your solution.
Yeah.
We need to be using these 2 techniques really in order to get rid of these limiting beliefs, because you're awesome at what you do. And everybody needs to hear about it. And everybody that's listening right now, you all have a gift. You all have a business. You all have a passion, and you're good at it. So the world is waiting for you. So all these limiting beliefs that we have about sales, about we're not able to sell our services, salespeople are pushy, it's not right, and it doesn't make you feel good. You need to turn them around and use these 2 techniques to turn things around. It starts here, because once it's changed over here, and you have a feeling that, oh my gosh, I need to go help them. Like if somebody dropped their wallet in front of you at the cash register, you bend over and you pick it up and you say, hey, here's your wallet. And you're just help them. Would you just not say anything and let them walk away? No, it's not in your nature. Well, maybe you'd rather do that. Just take the wallet, especially in COVID times right now. We don't need a little extra, but probably I don't even do that. I don't even jaywalk. So, you would just pick it up and if, let's say, you're super, super shy, you would still move past this being shy because somebody just dropped some money on the floor or forgot their baby. Let's say that they forget their kid behind, and then they have having a super bad day, and then they have one kid in the grocery cart, and then there's another one sitting there, and then they have one in their hands, but they have 4 kids, and then they go, and then one of their kids runs away and they don't see it. Are you going to help? Or, oh no, I can't because I'm shy. No, I can't. Well, of course you will help. You will push over because this person needs you. That's how you need to see your clients. They need you right now. So reach out to them and say, hey, I got this. I wonder, could that be a good fit? Is this something that you need? Yeah.
Totally.
Absolutely.
So there you go, folks. You've got a couple of very powerful tools to start playing with, to start moving past those limiting beliefs that may be holding you back.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's it for our show today. We have more getting back to business tips next week, always the same time. So it's Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. It is 2 p.m. Eastern time and 3 p.m. for you, Ravi, in the Atlantic on the East Coast.
Yes.
Perfect.
Have yourselves a great weekend, and we will see you next week.